This car is actually for a single person.
Old wheels, I must say.
Very old wheels.
Yeah, I can
about
see that.
11 years now.
Are you
this
serious?
Past January. Yeah.
Wow, that's active.
The installment was 2.8, right?
Okay.
But excluding service plan.
Ooh.
That's nonsense, right?
That's interesting.
People's Wilsons Unsee. Experience, learn from it.
Hi People's Wilsons and viewers, my name is Caroline and I'm here to share some of my experiences with you as being the proud owner of this 11-year-old baby right here.
Hi Caroline, how are you?
I'm good, Dr. T, and yourself?
I'm well, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for allowing me to sit in your very comfortable wheels.
Of course, you're welcome.
Old wheels, I must say.
Very old wheels.
Yeah, I can
about
see that.
11 years now.
Are you
this
serious?
Past January. Yeah.
Wow, that's active.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm inspired actually, you know. I really am because in my previous episode where I'm featured, you know, I'm the guest. I was talking about how I want my car to be 10 years old, you know.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
you know, because the value that I would have extracted,
Yeah,
you know,
out of it, for those many
you know.
years. Yeah.
So, wow, you've really extracted a lot of value from your wheels. I'm impressed with that.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, did you buy it brand new?
Yes. So I bought it brand new from the floor, from Ford Zanini dealership in 2012, end of January.
Wow.
So, and when I got it, it was with my first pay slip, but on my second job working in the mine.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there wasn't really much thought that went to it,
Is
actually.
it?
No.
Oh, so you are like us.
Yes,
Like myself
so-
and a few others,
so
or a lot others.
Yes, I got myself in a situation where, you know, with mining towns, especially Palabora, because that's
Okay.
where I was working.
All right.
They don't have much movement in terms of public transport. So going to
That is
work
true, yes.
was a bit of a hassle. We had to carpool with some colleagues.
Okay, all right.
And so I was like, you know, that first month I was like, no, I cannot keep on doing this. Like, you have to wait for someone to like knock off. If they're delayed from underground, you have to like
yes.
sit for 30 minutes, you
Wow,
know,
yeah, I
waiting
can
for them
imagine.
to come so that you guys can leave the
Yeah.
mine. So I think after that 1 month, I was just fed up and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go get a car.
Yeah. So you wanted that freedom and mobility.
And the flexibility.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes,
yeah. Lovely.
exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you bought it, you say it was your first paycheck, right? Your first payslip.
Well, it was my first pay slip or paycheck rather, but in my second job. So I was working somewhere before.
really? Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
But then because I was working in exploration,
Right, yeah.
there was really no
Which
need for me
means,
to
yeah,
get a
you're
car. I
always
didn't see the
out,
need. Yes,
away from
yes,
home,
yes. And secondly,
staying
we're
where you
using
are
company
working.
cars
Oh, lovely,
as well.
lovely.
So yeah.
Okay.
So there was no need then.
Right.
But then when I got into the mine, then you know that's where sort of like the need sort of like arose, and I had to.
you go in every day,
Yes,
right?
yes.
It's like
and
a
you
normal job.
go in like early in the morning by 6:30. You're supposed to be in the mine premises.
Wow,
so,
that's hectic. So yeah, you definitely need
so
your
I
car.
needed a car.
Even when you are in an urban setting where there's public transport.
Yes.
Yeah, for the convenience, it
True.
goes a long way. Interesting. So I've got two follow-up questions based on what you've just said. The first question is, did you know how to drive properly by then when you bought your car?
So this was in 2012, right? When I bought the car, I got
Okay.
my license in 2009, mid
Okay.
2009, but
Right.
started driving frequently in 2010.
Right, okay.
Yes.
So in 2012,
So in 2012
you must
I
have
was
been a
I was
proficient driver.
not as perfect obviously as I am now.
Of course, I mean,
yes.
11 years.
But yeah, I was not really struggling that
Yeah.
much. Yeah,
You're not like me.
I don't know about that. Let's just say I was not struggling that much. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was quite comfortable.
Well, you know, there's a story with my driving. Do you remember the first day I drove my car to work and you had to drive me home?
I had to take you back home. Shame, but I didn't mind, and I completely understood, because I felt like, also, like, after I got my license in 2009, there was an instance where I was driving my dad's car and something happened. I think I was struggling to go uphill or something like that, and I was with my cousin, and she was literally screaming at me. She's like, "You're not gonna roll back this car. You must go forward, go forward."
That's
so
active.
so I understood, because you panic, and things
I mean,
like
that's
that.
really one of the nicest things anyone has ever done for me. I'll never forget it.
No, man. I actually forgot it.
Yeah. Anyway, my second question, based on what you have just said, is: did you have a deposit? Did you save money? Well, because, I mean, one, you were in exploration, so you're not spending a lot of your money in the job. And so it was after some time of working. Did you have a deposit when you bought this car?
So, that all sounds so good, but that's not how it played out.
Yeah.
So a lot of the savings that I had made during my time when working in exploration went into, doing my mom's house renovation.
Okay.
And I really didn't. And the time when I was saving, I really didn't even think, I should be saving towards a car. And, you will hear people talking. You can just go to the dealership and just get a car without a deposit, but you don't know what it actually entails in the long run.
Yes.
So that's what I did.
Yeah.
Like, I just walked in, got a car, no deposit was made.
Wow.
There was a balloon payment on top of that.
Ooh.
And, I mean, if I can talk about the figures, am I allowed to do that?
Oh, yes. I mean, if you're free to do so, yeah.
So I think the installment was 2.8, right?
Okay.
But excluding service plan.
Ooh.
That's nonsense, right?
That's interesting. I mean, 11 years ago, they were doing this already.
Without a service plan.
Yeah.
So they say, you want us to add a service plan? Yeah, sure. Just add it on.
Wow.
They're like, okay, it's just going above 3,000.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So now I have a car. At least it has a service plan.
Yeah.
Right. Started paying for the car. This was Jan 2012.
Okay.
Feb 2012 when I started paying for it.
Yeah.
Started paying for the car. We go into 2013. And as bad luck and misfortune would have it in this life, I got retrenched in August 2013.
Are you?
So guess what?
Oh my goodness.
Car. I didn't have much savings.
Oh,
right?
Not even a year into
Not even a year. Like, just, it's roughly over a year, but not even 2 years.
Okay.
Now I'm sitting with a situation where I don't have an income to pay for this car.
Yes.
So what do? I don't
know. Return the car?
I could have returned the car. But I said, you know what? Let me contact MFC, right? So that they're like the motor financing division for Nedbank. So it's like your West Bank in FNB.
In FNB, yes. Okay, yeah.
So I decided to send them an email. Actually, I think I made a phone call, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
This was like way back, So then...
Yeah, it was 2012.
This was like more than a decade ago. But I think I made a call, if not having sent an email.
Okay.
And then the response was, we can freeze your account for 2 months, but we need proof that indeed you have lost your source of income.
Interesting. Yes.
And you must then give us, a letter from your insurance to say that the asset is still insured, because it's not your car, it's the bank's asset.
Right. Yes, indeed. Until you finish paying it off. Indeed.
Exactly. So then I had, that time I was still, my first insurance was with iWise under Old Mutual.
Old Mutual, yes. Yeah. All right.
And I think I was paying just over 1,000, just over
Lovely.
1,000,
Wow.
just
Lucky
over.
you.
If it was not in the 900 and something rent, figure.
Lovely.
So then. I got the letter. I got those two documents, and I sent it through. You had 2 months
of not paying.
So this was if I'm not mistaken, it was the September and the October of 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, not paying. Right?
Yeah.
Then November, the arrangement was you need to go back to your normal installment. But mind you, in those 2 months when the account is frozen, don't think that you're accumulating interest still. You're accumulating a lot of interest because you're not even making any payment.
Yes.
Right? Because interest, I believe, it's calculated on.
Yeah. Indeed. I think at least with cars, it's not like with a house where it's daily.
Yes.
So, wow.
Yes. No, we'll come to the daily interest rates.
Oh, my goodness.
I discovered that actually today when I was
okay.
emails.
Interesting.
So then, to cut the story short, November came and I had to go back to the normal, premium amount.
Okay.
And I started paying the over 3,000 figure. And with the help of my parents, my mother and my father,
Bless them.
and some other, and Samaritan that I'm not gonna mention.
Okay.
And I started paying the car. I started paying for it going into 2015 now.
Okay.
And then, also, my parents also had like other financial commitments, so I was
Yes,
not
of
expecting
course.
them to like carry me for the longest
Indeed.
of time.
Yes.
So then I was like, at some point, I think this was May 2015.
Okay.
And I had come back to university to do
study
my
further.
master's on a full-time
I
basis.
see. Right.
So I was like, while I'm doing this is Johannesburg. It's not like Guyana, my rural,
Yes,
hometown
that is
where there are
true.
no, much opportunities.
Yes.
It's like I can do some odd jobs here and there,
Yeah.
just to supplement, my income, because I was
Yes.
just getting so it wasn't a salary, because I had
A stipend. Yeah,
exactly.
Yes.
So then I thought, okay, let me just do some odd jobs, like an au pair kind of like
Oh,
job.
lovely,
And then I
yes.
got like a gig like that
Yeah.
in Northcliffe somewhere.
Okay.
And then at least I had a bit of like extra. But then even with that, I was like, I should just push my luck, right?
Right.
So I contacted Nedbank MFC again
Right.
in May 2015.
Yes.
It's like, listen, I have a bit of a situation.
Wow, I'm back.
I don't think I can pay the full amount.
Wow.
And as luck would have it,
Yes.
and because some people are really understanding to your
Yeah,
situation,
yes.
they said, you know what? Okay, how much can you afford to pay? I was
Right.
like, at least 50% of the premium, which was like
Wow.
1.5. I
Yes,
think.
yes.
I paid 1.5, Dr.
Wow,
T, from
lovely.
June, July, August, September, October.
Wow.
This was 2015.
Yes.
And then 2015 November, they're like, you know what? Then you need to 2015 or this is 2015, right?
2015, yes. Yeah.
They're like, okay, no, now you need to go back. I mean, like, we have given you need to go back to pay your full installment.
So wow.
And honestly speaking,
Yes.
I just kept paying the 1.5 like into November
Wow,
and
are you
December.
serious?
Jan slapped me with a letter, a notice. They're like, you know what? Your account is in areas by over 6 grand. You need to make this payment end of Jan 2016, right? Or we are gonna repossess the car. I fought tooth and nail.
Yeah.
I fought to a point. I actually drove to the MFC
The
offices in Edenvale.
Okay.
Yeah, by
Wow.
the east.
Yes.
I went there and I was like, you are not repossessing my car. We need to come to an arrangement.
Let's
because
sit down, let's
all
talk.
this time,
Yes.
I never ran away from you.
Exactly.
I've always
Yes.
explained my situation.
Yes.
I've always been straightforward with
Wow.
you. The least you can do
Yeah.
is to at least give me some grace period
Exactly.
for me to sort this
Yes.
out.
Yeah.
So then, I don't know what happened because this was in 2016, but we ended up coming into some agreement and they said, but you cannot be paying less. You need to stick to
Wow.
the agreed, premium amount.
Wow.
And then I paid for that, throughout 2016, doing odd jobs here and there. And then my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time,
Okay.
he was my husband then in 2016
Oh,
because we
really?
got
Yeah.
married in August 2015. So
Oh, lovely,
he
yes.
also started assisting me here and there, and then we would
like a good
combine
husband
that.
should.
Like we'll combine the little that we have
Yes.
and then paid for the car,
Lovely.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, the car that was supposed to be paid up in
Yes.
beginning of 2017,
Yes.
I ended up paying for it until 2019.
I see. But on the bright side, you didn't lose the car through repossession.
No, I
And
didn't.
another thing is that you didn't end up blacklisted, for example,
Yes.
because you were running
Yes.
away,
Yes.
not answering their calls,
Yes.
not replying emails, for
Yes.
example, because that's what some people do.
That's
you
true.
know,
That's
and then
true.
they end up blacklisting you.
Yeah, and
so
they do
instead,
that.
you took the initiative to
Yeah.
approach them first. You know,
Yeah.
you're like, listen, I've got a situation.
Yeah.
Let's deal with it.
Yeah.
Earlier, you indicated it was luck. I don't think it was
Yeah.
luck. It was genius of you to take the initiative, you
Yeah.
know, and step up and address this, and you found a workable solution,
yeah.
which worked for both.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, took longer to pay it.
It took, yeah.
But, having the fact that you had already, invested into paying for it, instead of getting repossessed and blacklisted,
Yeah.
you still have the car.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
true. So
lovely.
it ended up all nice and, wow, it's like happily ever after
Yeah.
kind of story.
Interesting. Well, that's a very beautiful story to share.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
I hope our viewers will learn something from this, because
Yes.
when you've entered
And-
into a loan agreement,
Yeah.
don't run away.
Don't run away. That's
Service
true.
the debt if you can't.
Yeah.
Find
be forward
ways.
about
Exactly,
it, yeah, and be
exactly.
honest.
Yes.
And I don't think the banks are really out there to catch us.
That is true.
So if you run into an unfortunate situation like I did, it's always best to just approach them and let them know what you are going through instead of
Yes.
just, turning your back and running away.
Yeah.
And you just hope that the problem is going to
Right.
go away, because that's what people think. They're naive enough to think,
Exactly,
if I ignore
right.
them, the problem is going to
exactly,
go away.
right.
I don't think a problem that's worth over 100,000 is just going to
Imagine.
disappear like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of 100,000, do you remember what was the initial purchase price of this?
I think it was I think it was 140 something. I'm
Oh.
not quite, for the life of me, I can't remember.
I can tell you that many viewers who are hoping to be buying a car soon,
Yeah.
well, like myself, I would like to upgrade some time, not soon, but in the next few years.
Yeah.
But nowadays, the price of cars is
It's
insanely high.
ridiculous. It's
So I know many
ridiculous.
viewers are like, I wish you could go back to those times.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
those unfortunately, that time has
Wow.
long passed. I don't
Indeed.
think we'll ever be getting a car for that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So-
the one thing I forgot to mention is
Right.
that, so at the end of the agreed term,
Okay.
and then there was the balloon payment.
Of
Remember,
course. I
we
was
didn't
about to
speak
ask you,
about that.
what was the percentage? Do you remember?
I can't remember, but
Okay.
in terms of the figure, it was
Yes.
close to 40 grand of balloon payment.
Yeah.
Remember, this is a person who's doing odd jobs. I
And
don't have
hasn't been paying the full price.
Exactly, and I don't have savings, of that much to actually
But
pay
now
it
they
off.
want that 40,000 rand.
And then they're like, madam,
Yeah.
balloon payment. What's the way forward? When can we expect the payment so we can give you the papers for the car? It's like, well, I don't have it. They're like, well, we have a solution for you. We can refinance you for the balloon payment. Oh my
But now
God.
with a different deal, different interest
deal,
rate.
everything interest rate all together.
And you have no choice because you have.
Exactly.
Wow.
So I actually got this
Wow,
from
so
my
that's the
emails,
paper.
if you don't
Yes,
mind.
no
Actually,
problem.
because I just
No,
want to
not at
show
all.
you this
I want
in
to learn.
detail, right? So then, this is the settlement letter that I asked for. So this was when I think when it was almost paid, it was sometime around March or April of 2019,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
And then they talk about this balloon payment.
Right.
And they say we can refinance you. Okay. I was like, fine, let's do the refinancing. I didn't have a choice.
Yes.
I mean, I got this far having kept the car. I'm not going to
Yeah,
let
exactly.
it be repossessed
By
because
then
of
it's
some
like,
balloon payment.
definitely.
I was like, it's fine. Let's refinance.
Wow.
Okay. So this roller coaster ride never ends, right? So then I got this letter sometime in May, and they say
Yes.
you need to pay an amount of
28,755
28,755, right?
Goodness.
By the 6th of June, 2019. Okay. So then, in May, after I got this letter, I was like, you know what? I think I spoke to my cousin brother or something.
Yes.
And they're like, why don't you go get a personal loan at Capitec?
Ah.
Pay this, because with with MFC, you will
Yes.
never finish.
Yes.
Like, it's like the interest rates are ridiculous.
Right.
They're like, go get a
Because
personal
I mean,
loan.
right now by now they had the upper hand.
Yes,
you
they
know.
did. They did.
You didn't have much of a wiggle room. Whereas
No.
if you manage to get a personal loan with
Yes.
a lower interest rate
Exactly.
compared to what they're offering, it's a better deal.
It's a better deal, and that's exactly what I got.
Interesting.
So I got the loan from Capitec, a personal
Right.
loan. I settled
Right.
with MFC. I was like, you know what? We are finally parting ways.
Yes.
Good
Give
riddance.
me the deeds of my
And
vehicle. I'm done
we
with you.
did the
Yeah.
change of ownership and
Right.
all that. But what I want you to also realize is that I didn't know about things like daily interest
Oh.
for like 90 rands.
Oh my goodness. So was this between the date of this letter and the 6th of June?
This was, yes. So after I finished paying, well, not really finished, but
the
after
last
paying
statement before
yeah. So it
Right.
was accumulating this interest every other day.
90 rand a day.
90
That's
rands
a lot
a day.
of money.
That's like a McDonald's.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. But also in 10 days, that's 1,000 rand.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
So you said
Wow.
this roller coaster ride was
Goodness.
just
Wow.
never coming to an end.
So you have so many experiences
I
with
have
this car.
so many experiences
You must love it
with
so
this.
much.
And that's why
And
I'm
appreciate
it's,
it, because-
I know people will say, but it's just their car. To me, it's of sentimental value because I
Exactly.
feel like I've been through the worst of the worst with this car and
Yes.
having fought so hard to try and keep it.
Yes.
So that's why I'm very, very sensitive
I
when it
can
comes to my car.
imagine.
I'm telling you, this car is 11 years old, but if someone borrows it, like I get heart palpitations when they go
imagine.
out because I'm like
Right.
thinking, not my car, no.
So how many more years do you think you want to keep it? Or would you like to keep it?
Ish.
Are you still happy with it, or you tired, but you remember
I think
the scars,
okay. So
mental scars.
so the running of the car, the driving
yeah.
of the car, it's not bad.
Oh, I can imagine.
It's not
Yeah,
bad because
yeah.
I can still drive to Guyana
Oh,
without
yeah,
having
definitely.
any issues.
Yes. Yeah.
Just last December, I
Okay.
drove across 3 provinces:
Oh, yeah.
Northwest,
Okay.
Gauteng, Mpumalanga, Gauteng, Limpopo,
Wow.
then back.
Nice. So
Just December.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not broken, it's not damaged,
It's
still
not.
running very
It's
well.
still running
So there's
very
no
well.
reason for you to replace it.
There's no-
unless except upgrading the lifestyle.
I think, and for me, it's not necessarily, I think I'm at a point in my life where it really doesn't matter much, what I'm driving in terms of like
Yes.
lifestyle and wanting to
Right.
be hype and all
Because
that.
you're now matured.
Exactly.
Which is interesting because you look 22, but
No,
then
I'm-
when you
oh,
said
I'm
that,
just- no,
when you
I'm-
said your car is 11 years, so
No,
I'm like,
I'm just
okay, she's at
aging
least
gracefully.
32, 33. Yeah.
I'm just aging gracefully.
I can
Though I'm
see.
not going to expose
Yeah.
my age.
We know you're 32, 33.
You wish.
So yeah, you
So-
are now matured.
Yes.
And
So
you
for
know
me,
better,
and I know
finance-wise,
better, and
a
for-
car, point A to point B.
It's exactly that.
Yes.
I think the only thing that could push me to like
Right.
buy a car would be if my family is, because I have a family, I have a
Indeed.
husband, I
Right.
have a 6-year-old who's turning 7 very
Right.
soon, and obviously if I have
Wow.
another child,
6 years old.
Yes.
So I mean, the last 6 years you've been riding with him in this car.
Yes.
Another
This-
proof that
this
you
car-
don't really need to upgrade your car because you're getting a kid. Like you don't need like an SUV. per se.
So I'm coming to that,
Okay,
Dr.
yes.
T. So the only thing I don't really like is the space, especially with the long distance traveling.
yes.
My boat is very small.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
car is actually for a single person.
Oh,
It's not-
really?
It's not for married people with families.
Oh, you mean when traveling long distance?
Exactly,
perhaps?
because you've
Okay.
got luggage.
Yes.
And I mean, if you're gonna have 2 kids or 3
Yeah,
kids at the back,
the baby
it's
seat,
really not,
yeah. The
comfortable.
prams
It's
and,
exactly. So I think the one thing that would push me to like get a car, it's not because I don't like this car anymore. It's mainly because of space issues.
Right, to be practical.
Yeah,
and
to be practical,
convenient.
exactly.
Yeah. Ah, I see.
Yeah.
All right. So, when you change it, rather, where
Mm.
do you think you will go?
It has to be an SUV.
Oh, okay.
obviously.
All right.
Mainly because of space.
You're right,
Because that's the
yes.
one thing I'm complaining
Okay,
about.
right.
And I think with my next purchase, I'm also going to look mainly at affordability.
Right. Yes.
And speaking about
Lovely.
affordability, I think the definition for that is quite varied
Well,
for a lot of people.
there is the formal definition,
Exactly, and the
dictionary definition, right?
Yes.
And then there is the, let's say maybe the, how can I put it? I don't want to insult people, but I'm going to say the South African definition.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to share my definition of affordability
Please
from
do.
my personal
Yes.
perspective. So
Let's learn.
So with me, I think affordability is you having the opportunity or the ability to, in this case, buy a car,
Okay.
right?
All right.
Pay for it, but not necessarily having to feel the pinch.
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
Still having a lump sum to go
Yes.
about with, other things in
Yes,
life.
true.
Because the one mistake we make, and I think this relates to the South African definition, is that if
Aha.
I take my pay slip and I go to the bank for financing and they say, we have approved you, you think, oh, well, they say I can afford it.
Aha.
But can you really afford it? Do you still have extra for you to do the little things that you want to do, to have
Yes.
investments in
Yes.
place?
Travel.
If I want to go to Mpumalanga, take my son to, go see God's window or
Exactly.
whatever, just next week or just
Yes.
next month, I don't have to have a headache planning around
Exactly.
that because
That
of
is true.
finances.
Yes.
So for me, buying the next car, I must look at my affordability.
Right.
If
Yes.
I can have a car that I can pay for, but still have enough money to do the things that I want, then I can afford it.
Lovely. Yeah, I agree. No, I totally agree with I share the same mentality. you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, okay. But then, do you think which brand do you think you will go for, or doesn't matter?
Honestly speaking, so I like the Tucson. And also because a friend of mine drives
the Hyundai
Tucson.
Tucson.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
apparently it's
Tucson. Oh, it's
Yes,
Tucson. Oh,
yes.
sorry. Excuse
Yeah.
me. So the Tucson.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it
Yeah,
looks
that's a
quite
nice-
spacious. I've
it
never
is.
been inside. I know a friend of mine
I don't know
drives
the
that
recent
car.
one, but yeah.
I know a friend of mine drives that, but
Okay.
I've never been inside. But just looking at it at a distance, I can, already make my conclusions about the space and
Okay.
and that it's quite like a nice, good family car.
I see. Yeah.
So that's one option for me. But I haven't really checked how the price for that goes.
I haven't
I might
as
not
well.
maybe afford it. I don't know.
see.
Speaking about
Yeah,
affordability.
indeed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So realistically speaking, if I was still singing, I'll be driving a Mini Cooper.
Oh.
Realistically,
Right.
if
Why
yeah.
Mini Cooper?
But I don't know. I like So first of all, I'm against the BMW, and I know you're a big BMW fan, but I like the performance of a BMW.
If this was my car, I was going to say get out, but I'm a guest in your car, so.
But this is very funny and probably weird,
All
right?
right.
I like the performance of a BMW, but I don't like the fact that it's so popular and so famous, and I don't want to
Right.
be like part of the
Oh.
BMW
You don't know what
lovers.
you're missing out.
So what's the next thing to get that has a BMW performance, but it's not necessarily a BMW?
Oh, by the way, Mini Cooper, which is part of the BMW group.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I get you. Lovely.
So yeah,
Makes sense.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Right. Well, Ford. I mean, there's this popular Ford. It's all over the roads. EcoSport.
EcoSport.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law actually drives
Right.
that. Yeah.
What do you think of that one?
I drove. So she recently got hers, which I sort of like when we went to see the car, she let me sort of like drive it around the block. I think it drives quite well. I personally wouldn't want to buy
Right.
an EcoSport.
Okay.
Mainly because I think I don't want to be driving a Ford anymore.
Gotcha. Yes.
Yeah, so it would be
indeed.
nice to
Yeah.
drive a different brand.
different brand.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So for me, an EcoSport, it is. I'm not saying it's a bad car. I'm just saying that for me, I wouldn't necessarily go for it.
Yeah.
And also, I don't think, in comparison to what I'm looking for in an SUV, it
Yes.
needs all
Well,
the.
it is a compact SUV,
Yes,
so it's
the
a smaller
compact,
one,
it's a small,
and
yeah,
I think
yeah.
you want a bigger one.
I want a bigger
I mean,
one.
when you talk
exactly.
about Tucson, you want a bigger one.
I want
Yeah.
something that's a little bit bigger. Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Caroline, thank you very much for being our guest. I learned so much from you. I really did, I'm really, really happy, that you learned from your experience and then you matured from it.
Yes.
And you visited us to share your experience with Mzansi.
Yeah.
And we cannot thank you enough for that.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy for, I'm happy I got the invitation and I was happy to share my experience. Just so
Awesome.
that at least the next person out there does not
Indeed,
make the same
especially the
mistake.
young people,
Especially
the
young
graduates,
people,
right?
because I made
Yes.
those mistakes when I was
Those are
still
my
quite young.
concern because learning from my experience and yours and a
Yes.
few other people,
Yes.
that I know.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you,
Yeah.
Caroline. We'll see you
Awesome.
with your next car.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be back with my next car,
Please.
with my SUV.
So that we can see if you really learned,
Yeah, from my experience.
from the buying journey.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
true.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, that's all for today. Adios, muchachos. Bye.
Bye.